You're listening to the Modern Mom and Dad podcast, a modern take on marriage, relationships, parenting, life, and so much more.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Modern Mom and Dad podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ty.
And I'm your other host, Caitlyn.
And we've got a lot to cover today. Got lots of questions, but first, how are you doing, Caitlyn?
I'm doing good. Been a little moody.
Yeah, a little bit. Not bad, though.
I've been a little argumentative, not gonna lie. A little angrier than usual. I'm on a lot of hormones right now, and I feel like they're starting to mess with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely feeling some side effects.
Yeah, we noticed it last night at dinner.
Yeah, we are like 11 days out from doing our frozen embryo transfer, and I haven't felt any side effects of the hormones that I've been taking for the past 3 weeks, but I upped my dose in one of them, the estrogen, and for some reason I have just been so short-fused and definitely a little more argumentative and definitely a lot more moody.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad, but I've definitely noticed it.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I feel like you're being very kind.
No, really, yeah. It hasn't
I
been
feel
bad.
myself being moody, so maybe I'm controlling it more than it's coming off.
Yeah. Well, I think when it happens, you recognize it. I think we both do.
Yeah, so definitely.
You get a free pass for sure.
Yeah, last night we were at dinner and he was like, "Are you okay?" Because my flip had switched and.
Yeah. I was like, what happened?
I was like, I don't even know what just happened, but I just got so angry for no reason. I don't even remember what it was about. But anyways, that's what's going on with me, dealing with hormones. But we are, the day this podcast goes live, we'll be doing our frozen embryo transfer for baby number 2 in 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up quick.
Yep, February 15th, our day.
Surreal. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, through the entire process, all we saw was 5s, which is crazy. We retrieved 5 eggs, 5 matured, 5 fertilized, and then the 5s went away because we only had 4 embryos and then 2 PGT normal. Yeah. But what's crazy is we're transferring on the 15th, so yet another 5. And apparently when you see a bunch of 5s, it's supposed to symbolize good luck or something like that. It's an angel number is what they call it. So it says the 555 angel number, meaning is a sign, an omen, a message or guidance from those in a higher realm taking care of you. Change and happiness is coming your way and things are going to be okay.
But me as a skeptic, probably, if you looked up any number, like 111, 333.
Should I look it up? Give me a number and I'll look it up.
Look up 222.
Okay.
Let's see what it does.
I will say this is very relevant.
It probably is something very similar. 222
angel number. Conclusion, 222 is a message of hope, representative of balance, harmony, life choices, commitment, compromise, and trust. It's a sign you can build on your current situation to achieve your goals and more. I feel like this does not relate to us. The 555 is just so relating. It's so
ironically
relatable.
General enough to where it would apply to most things happening in life.
Yet again, Caitlyn being super optimistic and Ty being very much a skeptic.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me. How have you been, Ty?
Good. Just been busy, hitting the gym a lot, trying to stay consistent with that.
He broke 200.
Yeah.
Not today, but.
Yeah, I had all my clothes on and stuff in my pocket, so I'm probably just short of it, but that's the heaviest I've ever weighed.
Yeah, he's been putting in a lot of work at the gym.
It's not all good weight, but it's lot of good weight.
You look really good. He's been working really hard. You're trying to gain, and then.
Yeah,
cut.
I'll probably do a mini cut next month or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't really planned it out. As good as I should have, but
I like you lifting more. Ty was a big runner.
Mm-hmm.
He's either lifting or he's running. There's no in between. You can't
I get addicted to either. I think I'm done with running though, that many miles, because I was training for the ultra marathon, so I was putting in 50 plus miles a week, at least 50.
Yeah,
and it was and I was still lifting, so it was really holding me back as far as strength wise, because you just, it's really hard to put on mass when you're, running that many miles, burning that many calories, and especially in your legs, because you're sending mixed signals to your body. Because if you're a runner, you don't need big legs. So.
Well, what I was gonna say is I like lifting Ty better than running Ty.
Yeah.
I like how he bulks and.
Well, and part of my problem was why I was never like a good ultra runner is because I wasn't all the way in. Like I didn't want to lose too much weight and get super skinny, but so I would lift and eat a lot when I was even running that much. So it was kind of really holding me back on both sides. So it's nice to be able to do a little bit of cardio, maybe run like 12 to 15 miles a week, very slow now, just to burn a few extra calories, and then hit the gym real hard. And my strength has been going through the roof. It's been awesome.
Yeah, he's been doing really good. I've been going to the gym with him a lot lately. I feel like I've been very consistent.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I think it's because in the back of my mind, I keep thinking that hopefully this transfer works. Because from like what we understand, I know I'm going to be on bed rest for a couple of days after the transfer, but I don't know. It depends on the doctor, and I think it depends on a lot of things, but there's a chance I'm going to have to like completely cut exercise for a good period of time.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet thing is you've been putting in the work, been doing lots of cardio, lots of exercise, but you're probably going to have to like not do that for like 10 weeks at least, maybe long. I don't know. We'll see what our doctor says, but yeah.
I'm curious to see what he says.
Kind of the downside, but it'll be worth it in the end.
It'll be so worth it. Yeah, I'm kind of ready to give up my body for another baby. So I'm not kind of ready. I'm totally ready. Definitely ready. But yeah, I'm just trying to, I guess, I don't know. Exercise helps me. It helps clear my mind, and it's also like a time for me to be, like my creative juices start flowing when I'm exercising. I always think of so many different things. Like whenever I'm working out, I always end up texting Ty like ideas of what we're going to talk about in the podcast, or, you know, just random things. Like, I don't know why, but when I'm working out, like I get so inspired. I think it's because I am able to like
if you're on the elliptical or like running or anything really, you're just kind of in your own your own thoughts.
The gym is the one time where I feel like my thoughts get cleared and I can like clearly think about things. So I love that time. It kind of
slows everything down where you can just kind of...
It does.
Get perspective on everything.
Yeah.
And you get the endorphins too, which always help.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be hard not being able to do that for some time, but hopefully, you know,
we'll have to talk to the doctor and see if that's really the case. But I did read online because I was looking it up. I know you should never like Google stuff.
Well, Google says it.
I know.
True.
Yeah. But I know the general thing was like, you know, at least 10 weeks. Yeah. Because they don't want blood moving away from your uterus during that time.
They said that during the egg retrieval too. I wasn't able to exercise. So. Which
seems weird to me because you think it would just increase circulation all around, but I'm no doctor, so
yeah.
We'll just have to listen to the actual doctor.
Right. So. Exactly. Yeah, we definitely, we've come so far. We will listen to whatever they say, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on in our world. Anyways, we thought we'd start today's episode off by kind of answering some questions. We asked you guys if you had any questions over on our Instagram. That's where we're able to like really connect with you all, and you're able to send in questions or, just communicate with us. So if you haven't given us a follow over on Instagram, we would love for you to do so. Our Instagram is at the Modern Mom and Dad Podcast, but we're going to go ahead and start answering some of your questions before we...
Do you guys have different parenting styles? How do you work through that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say overall we agree on parenting in certain situations.
Yeah, I think we're more similar than different.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
In our differences, I think we complement each other fairly well.
Maybe we should describe each other. I'll describe you and you describe me, and then you can kind of comment on that. Okay?
Describe me first. You go first.
Okay. So I feel like Ty is... first of all, he's a great dad. He is so good with Scarlett. He is a fun parent, but he's not afraid to step in and really lay down the law when it needs to be laid down. Like if Scarlett is, he always gives her a chance to correct the behavior, but sometimes he has to step in and be more authoritative, I guess. Is kind of the word I'm looking for, and am I saying this right?
Yeah, more like I would say I'm more like the enforcer.
The enforcer, that's the word.
Not in a bad way, but like...
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I can simply threaten situations sometimes with, hey, I'm going to tell Daddy, I'm going to talk to Dad today, and the way you're acting is not okay, and she will stop what she's doing. I want that level of respect so bad.
She respects you, though.
In a different way, but we definitely have our roles, that's for sure.
And full disclaimer, we're not therapists. We're just trying to figure this out like everybody else.
Oh yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, sure, there's things we could do better.
For sure. We're not experts at this, but yeah, this is kind of just like what's worked for us. Every family is going to be different. Every child is going to be different. I think we've talked about like gentle parenting in the past and how like I would personally love that approach, but you know, Scarlett Scarlett responds well to the way Ty steps in and parents, and I really respect that as well. But yeah, I would say, yeah, you're definitely the enforcer. You're definitely, you're still like the fun parent though. Like she's not like scared of you. Like I feel like I don't want this to come off wrong.
Yeah, we go and do fun things
like
and go out to the park and we roughhouse and.
Yeah, they have a great time together. She is definitely turned into more of a daddy's girl.
She goes through phases. It changes depending on the day.
That's very true. Very true. But how would you describe me? My parenting?
I would describe you, I mean, obviously you're more like the nurturing type. You're definitely, I mean, I think it's kind of your maternal instincts.
For sure.
You're a very good mom. You always have, I've always respected how you have everything lined up as far as like with her school, like her backpack. I know it's like specific, but like everything. Like you're always looking like, oh, should we enroll her in this art class? Let's finally get her into soccer. Or you always have that, like you're always looking for things to get her involved in that will help her grow. For sure. And I don't like think like that as much.
Yeah, I think overall, like I've just always been more involved with that stuff because that's how I grew up. I'm used to it. I was always involved with something, and so I want that for her, and it's easier for me. But yeah, I think. Well,
and like I think that like from the nursery, like you'll play with her, like you'll play dolls with her and stuff like that. Where it's kind of weird for me to do it. It's not weird, I shouldn't say that, but it's like not as natural for me to do that. Not as natural.
Yeah. That's a good. But like you love playing like board games with her and like going out and taking her to practice.
We played like a million games of Sorry in the past month. It's been fun though. It's been fun.
Yeah, we love playing the board game Sorry. Scarlett is so competitive. Our entire family is so competitive that
it gets heated.
It gets heated. It is. We have a great time. But yeah, you like take her out to practice soccer, and you do more of the, not the girly things, I guess. You enjoy more of like the outdoor things, the board games, and whereas I kind of try to step in and give her that side of me because she needs that as well.
You're a modern mom, just like our podcast, but I would say you have like traditional maternal instincts as far as like
I love that.
Your parenting style.
I learned from the best. My mom is very nurturing, and she definitely like showed me how to be that type of parent. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for her. Shout out to Mom if she's listening. Yeah. But I definitely agree. I think overall, though, we balance each other out really well with our parenting. Like we've never really had any kind of conflict. And maybe sometimes, like when she's not listening to me, Ty's like, you need to be harder on her. Like you need to be more strict.
But it's never been like a conflict. But like there's times where you could be more firm with her, but then there's also times where I could probably give her a little bit of slack. But it's like one of those things, like a toddler, you give them an inch and they take a mile, you know? Yeah. So it's hard. And when you're I don't want to say discipline because I wouldn't say a discipliner, but like when you're
in the moment.
Yeah, when you're doing the on the spot corrections is what we'd call it in the Army or whatever, but it's hard to know if you're really doing the right thing.
Yeah, nobody knows.
It's really, I mean, when you
who knows?
You can read all the books in the world, but when it comes down to it, when it's actually like where the rubber meets the road, it's kind of hard to know if you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and who's to say what the right thing is?
Yeah, exactly. Every kid's different, and
a right thing is just relative. Like
yeah,
nobody like the older I get, the more I realize that nobody knows what they're doing in the world. Like nobody knows what they're doing. Like we're all just basically going through life trying to figure it out together.
Yeah, and to kind of continue what you were talking about, like life's a journey, and everybody's just along for the ride trying to figure everything out. So nothing's ever going to be perfect. You just do the best you can.
That's do really the best you can. It's about. Absolutely.
So. Second question we'll do is how your relationship evolved from divorce to dating again.
Yeah, I get this question a lot, actually. So this is good that we're covering this. But I mean, we need to talk this through because I don't actually know how to answer this because it happened so naturally for us.
When we divorced, it was 100%. Like we were done. We agreed. It was amicable. Like it's not working. There, you only get one life. Let's not waste it being miserable together. I mean, I think we both like came to that realization.
Let's kind of backtrack to when we started liking each other again or flirting with each other again, because I think it was more so a flirting than anything before that. And I think the big turning point was Scarlett's birthday, but let's like try to...
That was definitely like, but that was like farther down the road for sure.
Yeah. So I think there was some flirting happening before then that made me think like, wow, did we just flirt? Like, did I enjoy that? What just happened?
Well, a lot of it was like co-parenting. So we're still around each other. We've
always kind of like picked on each other, and that's just been our like a love language of ours. Kind of, I don't want to say like making fun of each other. What do you call that? What's a correct way to say that without it sounding bad? Like we've always just had fun kind of picking on each other. Like that's just been a way we love each other.
I'm kind of a smart ass. But...
Yeah, you are. And I think I have smart ass tendencies.
You do, yeah.
But I'm not as big of a smart ass as you are.
Yeah, I have a real dry sense of humor for sure.
Yeah, and I've always like been attracted to that. So I think he would start to make just like little comments. And okay, here's the thing we're going to disagree on. I was fully not interested for a long time. Or maybe I was just secretly telling myself that. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I think maybe subconsciously, I don't know.
Subconsciously maybe. Okay, here's the thing. I never obviously wanted us to get a divorce. I always wanted us to work. I wanted our relationship to work. I wanted him to love me. I wanted to love him. I didn't want that for our family. But I didn't think we were ever going to work together.
Yeah.
And so I tried to force myself to not love him. And I think I tried to look for something else to make me fall out of love with him, like going on dates with other people, which probably wasn't the right thing to do, looking back on it now, or, just...
But, I mean, we were split up.
We were split up, but so still, like, I felt like I was toying with other people's emotions, too, and that's just not...
Like leading them on.
Yeah, and
But, I mean, at the time, like, I was like, confused because, like... I'd get off work, and who did I want to call when I'm driving home?
He called me almost every day when he got off work when we were divorced. And I'm like, why are you calling me right now?
Yeah. I like get in the car, and I'm like, I want to call her. I shouldn't.
He would call me, and he'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, why does it matter?
I'd call you, what are you wearing? No.
You probably did.
Probably. But, I would, like, I'd want to call you, because that was just something I did. Like, it was just, like, when we were together.
You did.
And then...
I appreciate that now. Like, I look back now, and I'm like, I love that you still wanted to call me, even though we were divorced.
Yeah, and dating other people.
Like, I was still the person, like, your person. Like, that didn't change.
Let's just say we weren't, like... I wouldn't say, like... I know we said we were dating other people, but I don't feel like we were in, like, a serious relationship with anybody.
It was just a fun thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any like serious feelings for anybody.
Yeah. Like,
I was just enjoying dinner with other people. Like that was it.
Yeah, maybe you were leading somebody on, but it wasn't like you were like...
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't like you were cheating on them or something. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like you didn't have any like obligation. Yeah, I don't want it to sound like you were like in a serious relationship. We were still seeing each other.
No. Yeah, let's make that clear. Yeah. Let's clear that up. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't want it to come across like that.
But yeah, we'd always had like little moments, I guess, through like drop off because Ty would come up to my apartment and drop off Scarlett and usually say hi and see Indy, and we'd have a little bit of a conversation. Sometimes good, sometimes not good.
Yeah, sometimes a little standoffish.
Yeah, more standoffish
in the beginning for
not
sure.
Not bad, but yeah, just more standoffish and. But we'd always have conversation, and eventually that conversation turned to being a little bit more flirty, and I don't know what it was, but I feel like you started to get more flirty with me, and I was still like, no, like, what are you doing? We are divorced. I mean, this feels right, but it's wrong because we're divorced.
Yeah.
Which at the time, who's to say what's right and what's wrong? But it felt wrong, even though it also felt right, if that makes any sense at all.
I think you were trying to tell yourself it was wrong.
Exactly. I think I was trying to protect my emotions and force myself to not not fall back in love with him, but just to like him again, or to even give him a second chance.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I just didn't want, we just gotten out of our relationship. I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is so wrong.
And when I'd come over, or drop off Scarlett, I would tell myself, like I had no plans on, flirting with you, or, being so attracted to you. It was just, once we were around each other, it was just, natural.
I just awed you with my beauty
really,
and my
though.
personality.
But I just couldn't help myself with that. Aww. It was
we've just always naturally had such a strong connection from day one. If you guys have listened to our other episodes, from day one, the day that we met, we've always had such a magnetic connection. And I've always felt like you are my person, but we just strayed away from each other. That really put, distance between us. But, I've just always felt that connection. You've always felt so right to me, even when it seemed wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely started flirting with me first.
That's probably true.
Yes.
Okay.
True. I've never actually heard you admit that. So you're always like, no, you came on to me first. I'm like, no, I did not.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, Scarlett had her birthday party, her third birthday. Was it her third birthday? I think it was.
Yeah. But I think we had kind of rekindled some of that love, at least
I think we had talked about just dating. We talked about, I think prior to the birthday.
I think we I don't know if we'd came to the agreement, let's not see anybody else because it's getting complicated and we're confused.
I was kind of still talking to somebody, so I had to close that connection. So I think we were in the process of closing those connections and focusing on dating each other.
And whether it was right or wrong, I was definitely very confused at that time.
Me too.
But I was like, if you're gonna continue to see this guy and it is a serious thing, then it has to end. I can't mentally handle that. I have to move on.
Sure. Yeah, and I didn't really have a connection
and
there.
It
so
probably wasn't, honestly,
it probably wasn't,
it probably wasn't right for me to make that ultimatum, but my mental health would have just, I don't know. Yeah, it would have not been great.
So it's very interesting to me because when I did start having, I don't even know if it was a connection, but started talking to somebody else, not seriously, but more so than anybody else, I guess. Ty definitely struggled with that. And why is that? What triggered you so much with that?
I don't know. Really, I think maybe just second thoughts.
Was that your turn? Was that when you were starting to think well, wait, what did we just do? Yeah,
because we were still kind of talking and kind of flirting, we were talking about, and I started to miss my family.
Aww, yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I was like, maybe we could make this work. Maybe this could be different. And of course, it's probably just an ego thing. I didn't want to see you with anybody else.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah.
It was definitely hard for me to commit to exclusively dating each other again because, like I said, we had just finalized our divorce a couple months prior. And, I mean, we had been, it seems like our relationship ended so quickly and then we got back together so quickly. But I think a lot of people misunderstand how we were separated multiple times prior to our divorce. It didn't just happen and then we got married again.
Yeah, there are definitely some dark days.
Yeah, I think that's a miscommunication. There was multiple times that Ty was living out of the house.
Yeah. Was it twice I went and lived with my mom?
Yeah, I think
so.
Before
the actual
separation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's something that people don't quite understand is that we had actually been separated for quite some time. I just never publicly shared until right before, we got divorced. So I think that's definitely been something that people have misunderstood.
Well, like with me, with like dating other women, like I would go on dates here and there, but I was very clear, like I'm 100, because we were going through this and my mind wasn't in the right spot. Like I was telling the women I was dating that I'm not emotionally available whatsoever. Like just up front, like don't expect that, because I'm not.
Mm-hmm. So why were you dating? Just social aspect of it?
Yeah, just kind of like all of a sudden I'm single. I mean, but
the dating,
yeah, because I can.
Yeah.
And the dating world's very strange nowadays too. It's
awful. It was awful. I don't
It's
ever
very
want to have to date people again. Oh my gosh, if you were single and trying to date, I feel for you, because it is a lot of work. I forgot how much work it is trying to get to know somebody. You know?
And almost like forcing it. The last thing, I shouldn't say the last thing, but like it would be hard for me to bring another woman around Scarlett.
Yeah,
like
same.
if it did get serious. And obviously I wouldn't rush into that. Like let's say it didn't work out and I got in a serious relationship with somebody else. Like I wouldn't just like, Scarlett wouldn't meet her for a long time.
Right. And
unless I knew it was 100%. So, but it was very strange. Like, I was not emotionally available whatsoever.
And see, I was searching for that emotional connection. And I wanted that ultimately from Ty, but he wasn't able to give that to me.
And when we first split up, I really like genuinely, I was like, I hope you find that connection.
He did, he wanted that for me.
Yeah.
But I don't think you understand how much I wanted it from you. And I'm so
that's part of the reason why I walked away, is because I was like, I don't think I can give you what you need.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you understand how much I pinch myself thinking is this real life? Like, how did we go from here, like the darkest times in our marriage, to being in such a good place? It is a question that I ask myself too, and I get a lot of questions asking, how did you guys do this? How did you guys do this? Like, I truly think, and we say this all the time, and I'm not saying go through a divorce, because I would definitely not wish that on anybody, but the divorce is truly what saved our marriage.
Yeah, it kind of gave me, like, I know I've said it before, but perspective. This is going to come across maybe controversial, but I think every married man, and probably woman, has that in the back of their mind, like, oh, what if I was single right now? I could go, play the field, or whatever you want to call it. But once you're, it's very cliche, but the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's not at all. And it's part of it for me is like, that's none of that, what would you call it? None of that experience is going to bring you happiness. Yeah. It's very shallow experience.
For sure, yeah. And
what really matters at the end of the day is having a best friend, partner, and your family. Mm-hmm. And it took me a long time to grow up and realize that.
Yeah, and I think ultimately time is what helped you, and time apart, our relationship, having time apart.
And just going through the hurt. I mean, honestly, like going through the divorce, sure, being single, it had its perks, but at the same time, it's, like I said, it's shallow. Having the realization that, like maybe what we had before and the opportunity we have to be together is gone, and having that pit in my stomach of like, probably made the wrong call, like probably should have worked on our marriage and instead of, walking away from it.
And I want to be clear too, we did work on our marriage. We were in counseling for months. I feel like we did everything we could have done. We didn't just quit. Like, there was a lot leading up to us divorcing. We did try lots of different avenues.
And there were good times.
Yeah.
And then there were bad times.
It was just very up and down.
Yeah.
We had good times and we had bad times. So sometimes I was doing really good and you were doing really good and our relationship was thriving. But when the lows hit, they were very low. Mm-hmm. And, now we just have more of a balance. But back then, that's just how our relationship was, up and down. Mm-hmm. And it was a very confusing time in my life. And, I mean, I'm sure your life too. Mm-hmm. But for me, I was scared to commit to being exclusive with Ty again and dating him again after the divorce, because I didn't want, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I didn't want to go back to feeling how I was feeling. I didn't want to go back to the rocky relationship that we were having, the yo-yo relationship that we were having, ups and downs. It was exhausting, and it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for our daughter. It wasn't good for Ty. It just wasn't good for anybody who was around us.
Yeah.
And I was scared to go back to something like that.
Yeah, I was very cautious with it too.
Yeah.
I had definitely my reservations on, are we just going to find ourselves in the same spot? And
Exactly.
because I think we're both in a really dark place for a long time. And it's, when you're in that dark place, it's
hard to get out of it. And once you're out of it, you're like, you feel a weight lifted off of your shoulders. And then part of that life comes and creeps back in. And you're like, wait a second, I just left you. Like, what's going on? But then another huge part is and I know you feel the same way, I didn't want to confuse Scarlett any more than she had already been. You know, like, we had just separated. She was going back and forth between my apartment and Ty's apartment, and we didn't want to confuse her. So we really, really, really had to think this through. We really had some deep conversations about what we absolutely need out of a relationship if we are going to be together. And I think a lot of those conversations were, I think they were surrounded around like our future and what we wanted. I know for me, I wanted to have more children, and that was something that like was not a compromise to me. So I either needed you to be on board or not, because that was, something very important to me, and rightfully so. I feel like,
Yeah, and when we first got together, I said 2 kids. What I wanted.
For sure, yeah.
And
so
you probably thought I had a vasectomy when we got back together, and then we weren't having.
Yeah, and then we couldn't get pregnant. I'm like, what the heck, Ty?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do when we were divorced?
My sperm count analysis will come back.
Oh,
so, yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's gonna think.
I did not think that, first of all, but
it did cross my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't think I would do something like that.
No, I did not, but that's funny. But yeah, that's kind of, I think, how we went from being full-blown divorce. I wouldn't say hating each other, because we never hated each other, but just not liking each other to the point where we wanted to be together, to actually wanting to date each other again. And we dated for about, when did our apartment leases go up? In the fall, September. Well, mine was up in September.
Mine was in November.
So we dated from about December of 2019 to...
Yeah, Scarlett's birthday was
the turning point.
Yeah, that was when we were
her third birthday.
Yeah, that was when we were together again, in my opinion. So
we lived separately. We dated each other for, what is that? How many months is that? Like 9 months or so? And then we had to make a decision. Yeah,
are we going to extend our leases or get new apartments or buy a house?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it made sense for our entire family to move back in together, because at that point we were very committed and things were going really good. And we were a little nervous because we're like, okay, is it because we have our own space?
Yeah, because I mean, we weren't living together.
We were not living together, and things were going so good. So we're like, okay, moving back in together, what is this? Like, how is this going to change?
Yeah, is it all just going to crumble, as soon as we...
which thankfully it didn't.
No, it didn't.
But I think during that time, we really learned a lot about each other and our needs and our wants, and how to take care of each other's needs and wants. And I think that time was a really good self-reflection for us, which ultimately made moving back in together a really positive experience.
Yeah.
So that 100%. Is how, that's how all of that kind of came about. Dived in deeper to that for sure.
Ty, how are you liking being more honest and open on the internet now? I mean, honestly, I feel like I've always been honest, but being more open is definitely, I mean, it's still strange to me, but I don't know. I'm fine with that. I've got nothing to hide. I feel like this is me. Like, if you met me outside of this podcast or like Caitlyn's YouTube channel or my social media stuff, then you'd realize this is me. I mean, I'm very much...
I feel like you're more comfortable, though, speaking, because we're not on camera, too. Right now, we don't have any video footage to our podcast.
Yeah. Eventually we will.
Yeah, eventually we will, but I feel like you're definitely more confident speaking without the camera. But you've been participating more in my YouTube videos, and you've been so wonderful. So you came a long way.
Yeah. Do you think you'd do YouTube forever?
No, definitely not. YouTube's not a forever goal of mine. YouTube's wonderful. I love it, but nothing's forever. And I don't think YouTube's forever. I think YouTube's not going anywhere. I just don't think it's something I'm going to want to do forever. It's hard putting your life out there, and there'll be a time eventually where I think it'll be time to retire from YouTube, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
So this question is, how do you prioritize your marriage while being so busy? I would say we have the luxury and the privilege of me staying home now.
For sure.
We have more time together now.
Yeah,
like throughout the day.
Even just doing mundane things like, today I went and ran an errand with him for his ATM business, and we, listened to a podcast and, talked about the podcast. And, there's times like that because he's home and more available now, we're able to take more advantage of and spend more time together. And
yeah, just little things
like
going
like
to
that.
Get brunch or breakfast.
Yeah, we went and had breakfast this morning with some friends, and it was just a good time for,
being able to just spend time. And right now Scarlett's at school.
Yeah.
So, but I get that not everybody has that luxury.
Right.
And, I did work my 9-to-5 job up until, we lived together for a while.
Yeah, we were still able to do things.
Yeah. I would say for me, it was like after work, I just had to be the family man that I always should have been, but definitely put my family first. And right now, in the evenings, no matter what, we're playing Sorry or board games or something, doing something as a family, sitting down at dinner, all the little things. And I think that strengthens the bond between Caitlyn and I.
And it's a great example for Scarlett, and, she should be seeing those things. And I also think for quite some time, which we don't do this anymore, we should, but we had weekly babysitter, so we could go.
Yeah, we haven't really been doing that as much, but I think a lot of it is Scarlett's in school.
Yeah, so we don't need a babysitter
as much.
Yeah, we can go have lunch together or something. So, and plus at night I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
She goes to bed pretty early.
So I would much rather go to lunch than go out at night. But yeah, I think we, it's easy for us to prioritize now because Ty's home, Scarlett's in school, and we just have time together. But when he was working, we had a weekly babysitter, one night a week, where we just, it was part of our budget. Babysitting was part of our budget every single week, and we'd go out and go to a movie, or we'd go to dinner, or, I don't run errands, just something. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a huge elaborate plan thing. Just go do something together.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that's a big thing. I think a lot of couples probably overcomplicate things.
For sure.
When just go do stuff together.
Go to the grocery store, go run errands together. Just that time being together is is important.
Yeah, flirt with each other. Joke with each other.
Yeah.
That's try to be present. I always have a hard time. I'm more of an introvert, and I feel like in our past marriage, I had a hard time just being present. Even if we were at the dinner table, maybe I was on my phone, or maybe my mind was somewhere else. I'm thinking about business stuff or work stuff.
Yeah.
Where I really have to focus on, I need to be present. That's a huge thing for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I've definitely recognized a change.
I was in such a dark place for so long, and it wasn't anybody's fault but my own, really. But now that I've worked through my own internal stuff, that it's easier for me to be present and not be stressed out about, our marriage or work or whatever is going on at that time in my life. I can really sit down and enjoy and realize that these times aren't going to be forever. Scarlett is going to grow up way faster than we want.
Yeah. And
just being present for those moments and helping her form those core moments, those core memories. So this question is about my mental health. So Ty's mental health during infertility and how I'm doing throughout the journey. I would definitely say it probably has affected me less than Caitlyn.
It's not as taxing on your body.
Yeah, it's not. Because you're the one that you're taking all these shots and men's stuff. So my part of it's relatively simple.
Yeah, you just
but
take your little cup in the room.
Yeah, that was awkward. Yeah, give the sample.
You're good to go.
But I'm at the point where I want one more. I'd be happy with either a boy or a girl. And it's really a bummer because it's just not working out. I mean, it will, in the long run, but it's frustrating that it just didn't happen naturally. It has been frustrating for me.
What'd you say the other day? The other day you came in the room and you're like, if this transfer doesn't work, I'm not going to be okay. Or what, you said something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
I was okay.
If the transfer doesn't work, I'm going to be, I don't even know if I'll be angry or disappointed, upset, or a mixture of everything. It's just like, come on. I just feel like we just need some good news on that front. I mean, everything's worked out so far with the IVF thing, but overall, we just need like a break. If the universe could just give us one more.
I get that.
I don't feel like that's asking.
Although I feel like I was doing pretty good until you said that, and now I'm like, oh God, like, is he gonna be okay?
I'll be fine. You know me.
So I'm like, now I gotta take care of myself and him.
Oh.
No, but
yeah, I feel like my mental health has been good.
He's been an awesome support to me through my mental health through infertility, because there's definitely been ups and downs, and I did just share a YouTube video talking a lot about our mental health, or my mental health specifically, through infertility, where I dive more into details. But he's been such a great support. He's given me, all of the injections through the egg retrieval process, because
she's been doing her recent ones.
The recent ones are so easy. I'm just on one injection a day right now, and it's a tiny little injection that doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn. Like, the medication is easy to go in, like it's nothing. So I've just been doing it myself. I almost prefer it that way, but through the egg retrieval, he gave me every injection, because that was a lot more, and that was a lot more difficult. I was doing 4 injections a day, and some of the medication burned really bad, so I needed him to do that. But yeah, you've been my rock through all this, for sure, and I can't imagine going through this without you. I can't imagine I've gone through this with somebody else. Yeah. So everything truly works out the way it's supposed to. I really do believe that. And I think our time will come. Whenever it happens, I think our time will come.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen in 11 days. I don't know.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We do want to talk more and dive in a little deeper about all of this infertility stuff. And, we want to do a podcast episode dedicated to our infertility journey and struggles, and like where, how it's affected our marriage and all of those things. So maybe we'll do that upcoming as we get closer to our embryo transfer. Mm-hmm. It'll be good to talk about it as we're going through it. So yeah, maybe we can do that.
So this was a request from somebody. They said they'd love for us to read relationships and family Reddit entries, like reddit.com.
I love this idea.
And give our take on it.
Yes, I love that.
I can pull it up on my phone. But also, full disclaimer, we're not experts in this.
No, but I do think we have a pretty good perspective of what has personally, we can speak from experience, because I do feel like we've been through quite a bit in our marriage. Mm-hmm. We are simply just normal people who have a modern take on marriage and relationships, and we're going to share our thoughts. So we're going to end on reading one of these Reddit threads, and we're going to try to find one that is a little interesting, maybe a little funny, and we're going to talk through it.
So this one's pretty good. It's on the marriage subreddit. It's kind of funny. So my wife just made a suggestion, and I think it's time to reevaluate my marriage. He says, my wife just made a crazy suggestion, and I don't know where it came from. After 9 years of marriage and thinking things were okay the way they were, I never thought she was bored or needed things to be shaken up. She never once hinted that, and then last night out of the blue, when she got into bed, she sprung it on me. She suggested we switch sides of the bed. Whoa. I don't know where this idea came from.
If you did that to me...
That would be so weird. That's totally not where I thought this was going, but that's hilarious.
Don't ever bring that up to me.
Yeah.
I don't know
Caitlyn
what I
has
do.
this thing where she has to be on the side of the bed closest to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You've always been that way.
Yep.
But yeah, if you came to me and was like, let's switch sides of the bed, I would be like, are you okay?
Not that we even sleep in the same bed.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, last night I slept in the...
We've addressed this we love each other, but we sleep separately a lot because Ty has sleep issues. I do not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. And then he edited the post and he said, it's funny. He said, "Thank you guys for the support and encouragement during this difficult time."
Oh my gosh.
She came home from work and I was sitting at the kitchen table. I asked her how long it has been going on and what was it that drove her to act like this. She played the dumb card and acted like she didn't know what I was talking about.
Is this real life? Like, did this actually happen?
It may be. It
That's
doesn't
funny.
say it's fake or real, but it may be real. He just turned it into like, satire.
That's funny.
And then the top comment is, "Time for a lawyer, bro."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these things sneak up on you.
Reddit is such a funny place. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are these comments?
The comments are the best.
I think that's going to conclude today's episode 3. Yeah, episode 3.
We know that we've been talking about some pretty hot topics and deep stuff, like within our life, and some of it is somewhat hard to talk about, and it's a little on the serious side, but we're thinking next episode to make it more of a lighter podcast, more fun.
Yeah, we don't want to be so serious here. Like, we definitely want to have fun. We have some really fun things planned for the next episode, so stay tuned for that. We want to talk about these serious things that we've experienced and like share our insight and perspective on them, but we also want to have like a fun space here where we can kind of laugh together and share a little bit more lighter things as well. Not so deep all the time.
Thank you guys for tuning in and listening, and we'll see you guys and gals next week.
Guys and gals.
Yeah. Y'all. I'm from Kansas, so I can say y'all.
Okay. Bye, guys. Do you want to follow along with us more? We would love that. Follow us over on YouTube and Instagram at The Modern Mom and Dad Podcast to interact with us, ask us questions, and to see behind the scenes. Thanks for listening to the Modern Mom and Dad Podcast, and we will see you next Tuesday.